Hey everyone, it's Linda and welcome back to the channel. So as you can kind of tell behind me, I am not in my usual bedroom, and that is because I have taken my little home gym inside my bedroom into a bigger space. So I guess this is kind of like a vlog slash gym transformation, basically just how I built my home gym behind me. So all of the things that I purchased for this gym I will leave in the description below. And without further ado, let's get started. So if you didn't see my previous home gym tour from last year, this is what it looked like. It was basically just a corner of my room of any equipment I could get my hands on when quarantine first began last March. Now, this is what the garage looked like before we cleaned it all out. I know, it is a lot to take in. I actually moved back in with my parents during the beginning of quarantine last year, and I'm very thankful that I was able to use the garage space as a gym for myself. After a solid week of reorganizing and getting rid of things that we just didn't need in there, here's what the garage space looked like. It took me about a month to gather all of the equipment I needed to start building the gym, so I waited for everything to arrive before I began putting the room together. The first thing that I put together for this room was the flooring. A lot of people suggested that I looked into getting horse stall mats instead of these foam pieces, but because the floor of my garage is already carpeted, I went with these pieces because they were a little bit more in my price range. I've said this before in the video where I build my own roller skates, but just to let y'all know, I'm not very handy with tools and building things, but I try my best. It took me basically an entire day to assemble all of the equipment that I bought. And here's me putting together the plate rack. So the next thing I built is this 4-tier rack that I decided to put some of my smaller workout accessories in, like my knee sleeves, wrist straps, gloves, shoes, and basically whatever accessories that didn't already have a place. And this was probably the easiest thing that I needed to assemble. So a quick little update, it's been an hour and a half and I managed to assemble the plate rack and behind me this 4-tier rack, and then I brought down my dumbbell rack that I already had from my bedroom. The last thing I really need to assemble is the squat rack. I didn't get a cage because it wouldn't fit in this garage. I got one of the smaller squat racks, not a squat cage, and I don't know how long it's going to take me to assemble because all of the reviews say you need 2 people to do it, but I think I can do it. But to make it simpler, I unpackaged everything and I laid it all out just so I know where everything is, and it should make things a little bit easier for me, but we'll see how it goes. This frickin' squat rack was the most difficult thing I have had to assemble for one reason only: the instructions. The instructions that came with the rack were literally just a piece of paper with no real direction of what order I was supposed to put things together. So with a lot of trial and error, I spent a lot of time assembling, unassembling, and then reassembling the base of the squat rack. And of course it wouldn't be a video without me hurting myself somehow, and I managed to cut my finger while assembling it. Don't ask me how I did it, I randomly saw that my finger was bleeding and I put a band-aid over it. I could see why the reviews said it would require 2 people to assemble the rack because it probably would have cut my assembly time in half, but I didn't have anyone to help me and I'm an independent woman, so I did it all by myself. Another big issue I ran into was learning how to mount things onto the wall. I've only ever put things like push pins into the wall, and I never needed to mount something heavy like this mirror. I won't get into all the details of the issues that we ran into, but just know we managed to mount the mirror onto the wall safely. After mounting the mirror onto the wall, it was pretty much smooth sailing from there, so we easily got the 2 small racks mounted on.
You and I were meant to be.
And here's the final before and after of the gym. I think that about wraps up my garage gym. I also have a fitness Instagram, so be sure to follow that for a bunch of food recipes and a bunch of gym workouts that will be coming soon. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!
Is there a price?